Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I feel much better. In my last video I was recovering from a pretty bad cold and I'm still not 100%, which is kind of, I think it's sort of mysterious because I don't really know why I seem to not be able to heal that last 2%. But looking back, and I've tried to learn lessons from, previous experiences, is that if I go do cardio exercise or I overexert myself and I do something like I dance for 4 hours and then I get sick again if I do that too soon. So now I'm really holding myself back. And people used to say you need a fever-free day before you go back to school. I think I need that, that time where I still taking it easy. Even though I'm on my feet, I feel fine unless I go running or dancing or do something that really gets my heartbeat going. Then I don't feel so well anymore. So there's something, it feels like it's right here. And I don't know if this is true where you guys live, but I find that ever since the pandemic, when we were in lockdown, it seems like people's immune systems, something has happened because so many people are saying that they're experiencing similar things, that they have a cold that just keeps coming back, they have a cough that just won't quite go away. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't turn my phone off. I'm gonna put it on quiet, just a minute. Yeah, I'm not going to start over because I already started over one time. Anyway, so I've been doing pretty well. I have 2 cats, and one of them got really badly bitten last week, and I'm pretty sure it's the neighbor cat because he's been causing lots of trouble. And I didn't really notice that he had the sore. It's like right next to his tail, and he was kind of like hiding. I was like he wasn't himself, and I thought maybe it was like New Year's. The New Year's rockets and everything, that scares animals a lot. But then I noticed he's starting to lick himself, and his leg was straight up in the air, and he was doing the banjo, and that's when I saw it, and I think it's probably had been there for a couple of days, and now he's on antibiotics, and he has to wear this collar around his neck, which makes him really unhappy. He acts like he's in a depression, really. And the worst part of it is that I have to keep the cat separated so that the other cat doesn't lick his wounds. And he can't lick them either, but the collar is preventing him from that. But the other cat is kind of my main concern right now because he's healing really well. And but I just felt very codependent on these cats, and it's just taking kind of too big a piece of my life. And my daughter went home. She went back to school. My son is still here for a few more days, but he's at work right now. But it's been a great Christmas vacation. I've had really time to hang out with the kids, except my youngest kid, but we live together normally. So I'm really happy to have, been able to connect with everybody and also recover from my illness. Anyway, great new discoveries in 2024. For those of you who follow my channel, probably heard me talk about these perfumes a time or two. But these were kind of my best. The first one that came to mind, and they're not ranked, but I think maybe the order of as I mentioned them, has at least something to do with probably like things that I discovered more recently came up first in my memory, and then the ones that I maybe, discovered in January of 2024, probably further down along the list. And some of these I have bottles of, some I don't, but I've stopped thinking like, okay, I really like a fragrance, I have to get a bottle, because I can't keep going on like that at the rate at which, perfumes are coming out. Because if I have to get a bottle of every new launch that I like, that's not sustainable, right? But this I think has been my best purchase of 2024. The most expensive too, I think. Wait a minute, did I buy something more expensive? I think actually I did. I bought a bottle of Bortnikov, what was it, Oud Maximus, and that one has already been sold. And I did a swap. That was actually a pretty good deal for me, so I'm happy that I got rid of it, because I ended up not wearing it. It was too kind of pissy. There were these like frangipani, jasmine that was a little on the like urinal side, and my daughter didn't like it on me, and that really bugged me. But Hasu No-Hana from Grossmith is a beautiful chypre, little bit vintage style fragrance, with the only difference that it's so good right away, like already from the opening, which I find with a lot of vintages is that you have to suffer for 20 minutes before it, it settles down and kind of like becomes wonderful. And I think a perfume should be good all the way. especially the dry down, of course, but because that's what you end up with all day. And the second one on the list, I don't have a bottle of. I don't even have a sample, and it's the Majestic Vetiver by Alexandre J. It's a new house to me. They come in these really tacky bottles, different colors. They're like non-transparent bottles that I really don't like. It's supposed to be Art Deco, but I don't think it looks like Art Deco to me. I think it looks like really tacky, kind of like a little temples or something. It's cylinder shaped, and then there's something on top that kind of, there's my cat in the background looking for food. Get down. Yeah, you can hear me, Louie. He knows he's not supposed to be up there. Anyway, I just cleaned up, so there's nothing to eat there anyway. And that's a dirty rag. Stay away from there. Okay, the third fragrance on the list that really surprised me, I didn't grab it from the downstairs bathroom. I keep it there. It's because it's such an easy reach, is Velvet Tonka from BDK. And I think BDK in general is a really boring house. But I might have to go back to them and see. I really want to try Gris Charnel again, Pas Ce Soir again, maybe some other fragrances as well, because they might be better than I first thought them to be. Because I kind of thought they were like a standard mainstream niche house. You know, they have one white floral, and they have one this and one that, one sandalwood, and one oud, and one, like, nothing. They don't have like their thing, like something that sort of, they don't have a profile that is unique, if you know what I mean. Like, I mean, the Korean Born to Stand Out have like the gourmand profile. Grossmith has a very clear kind of like vintage and modern profile, where the historical, the historical formulas have been used as a base, but they've still made it really modern, but in these really nice vintagey bottles. But BDK to me has been kind of like, to me they're kind of like Initio, Parfums de Marly. Like they don't have any class. But I do love Velvet Tonka. Wait a minute, now the cat is into the garbage. Hold on one sec. What are you doing? Get out of there. So sorry, guys. I gotta keep an eye on this cat. Anyway, we got so much snow, like this much snow in the night, so I have a hard time opening the door there. I have to deal with the garbage right after this. Okay, Velvet Tonka is kind of an almondy tonka, beautiful, easy grab, and I just love it. And my sons love it on me too. So that's I would say almost a safe blind buy, maybe. I mean, someone might say that it smells like Play-Doh. I don't know. I think a lot of that type of fragrances get that a little bit. And then I discovered a house last summer called Isabey, and they have these cute little travel size fragrances. And I actually picked this one to put on the list. It's Lys Noir, which is like a beautiful kind of it's Lys Noir. It's lily, but it could have been. I wouldn't have been able to say. I would have said it could be any purple flower. Maybe it has that real powder, like it's like heliotrope. That's what it is. And I think maybe Velvet Tonka has heliotrope as well. And it's one of my favorite notes. I would almost say I love powdery fragrances. This is really powdery, kind of like a dusty. I think there might be cacao in here too. Really, really pretty. And I also put Lilac Love from Amouage on the list. It's kind of similar to this. It's kind of like a floral gourmand with powder. I think they both are. So is this one. This one is a little bit more just pure floral. It's gardenia. This is the one most spoken about. Look how beautiful it is. This is an easy floral wear. Not so much gourmand leaning as Lys Noir. This one was my favorite of the two. Next on the list was, I haven't worn that much, but I'm really intrigued by this fragrance, and I want to wear it again. And it's called Tonka Hysteria by D'Orsay. And D'Orsay is an old house from France, and they kind of did a reprofiling of the brand, and they came out with a whole bunch of fragrances in a new kind of bottle, and they have hopeless names. They're like really long, and they're in French, and then they have like 2 initials. And also the fragrances are really, really close to each other. Even if they're nice fragrances, they're all kind of like woody, floral musks, like all of them. They use a lot of iris. They're not super loud. I can't tell one from the other. Now I actually bought one, and I don't even know which one I bought. I bought JR, I think. I think it's called JR. and it's called something like Je suis. What it means is I breathe, therefore I'm a person or something, or therefore I exist. So it's like a really long French name. They're just not that exciting. But then D'Orsay came with a new line of fragrances. There are only 3 of them, and they're in these black bottles, and they're like extrait versions. So they're a little more powerful. One of them is called Flower Lust. I don't like it that much. I have a sample of that too. But Tonka Hysteria is like really, really a nice Tonka fragrance that I will be getting back to you about. It was like a new discovery. I was like excited. The first time I tried it, the first time I wore it, I was like, wow. Really, really like it. And the third one, I can't remember if I tried or not, or if I just, maybe it might have been an incense fragrance, I'm not sure. Okay, and then another discovery. This one was a swap from, it was in the winter, but I enjoyed it kind of throughout the year, but mostly in summer. And it is called Capri from the house 1969, which just happens to be my birth year. And I like the way that they have like all the notes on the bottle. And this is like, to me, this is more than just like a nice Mediterranean citrus fragrance, although it has lots of citruses. It has bitter orange, sweet orange, Mandora. I don't even know what Mandora is. But it has these different spices. It also has mandarin oil and grapefruit, but it has galbanum, which I love as a note. And it has orris, angelica seeds, ylang ylang. So there's a lot going on in here. What else? But it has such a nice dry down. So it's more than just a freshie. Whenever the freshness kind of starts to go away, then like you're stuck with another kind of really nice fragrance, but that doesn't quite have that fresh top. So this, I was kind of surprised because I think I traded this for, I gave her Harvest Mouse from Zoologist, and I now own no Zoologist fragrances. I do love that they have their own thing going on, but like not many fragrances have made me so thrilled that I want to own a bottle. I used to own a bottle of Koala, and that's a really nice foresty kind of oily eucalyptus fragrance with a little bit of honey, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe a little bit of incense. It's really nice, but it's so like conceptual. It's not so perfumey. I never feel like, oh, this is an occasion where I'd like to wear koala. It would be more like if I walk in the woods or if I'm curled up in front of the fireplace with a book or something. And I just felt like I'm not just going to have it sit here. Then it has to go. And then I put Frustration from Eldo. I put that on my Christmas list as well. That, I think I might have discovered that in 2023, honestly, but it's such a great fragrance. I just wanted it to be on some list of new discoveries, because if you have not discovered it, it doesn't really matter if it's 23 or 24. And it's a really nice kind of gourmandy, slightly boozy, what is the note in there? It has chestnut. It's really nutty. And vanillic. So it kind of dries down to it's just so satisfying and enveloping. And it's not the fragrance that I would wear a lot, but when I wear it, maybe I'll wear it twice a year and love it those 2 times. And I'm rotating between so many fragrances that it doesn't matter if I only wear it twice a year. And I just bought I only had this much left, so I bought a $5 from someone, and that's going to last me probably 2 years. So that was good. Okay, and then I have on the list Kairos. I didn't bring the samples down, but it's just a sample from a house called Anatole Lebreton. And I was really surprised at this fragrance. First I was like, ooh, what is this? It's like really bitter and green in the opening. And then it kind of goes into like carnal flower territory, like tuberose, but it has this kind of almondy. It's just so interesting. I'm so excited to wear it again. And I wouldn't go off and rush off and buy a bottle right now, but I do like that they offer this in 30 ml, but it is quite expensive. That's Kairos. This house, Anatole Lebreton, I haven't tried their fragrances. And I think that I'm just guessing now because I've only tried one other fragrance and I really, really hated it because it was, I don't remember the name of it right now, but I think it's not a fragrance house for those who are like new into niche and they're stepping right out of like the tax-free and into niche. Then I would probably direct them towards something more like this. This is a discovery I made this year, Essential Parfums. I'm going to mention, I think I have one on the list that I really like, or from this box, but I'll get to that. Then another discovery for this year, I'll just have to say that it's the house. It's the house. And it's April Aromatics, and it's all organic and all natural perfume house, which I think is such a great thing, especially when I start to worry about that I'm putting too much chemicals on myself. And I trust this founder. Her name is Tanya. I met her at a Perfume Expo in Stockholm when was this? Was it in December? It was in the end of November. And it was such a nice acquaintance and they had this deal. She sold these for like €100 for this discovery set includes, let me see if I can open it here. It includes 20, I think 24? No, I think 20, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so 20 fragrances, because first you have all of these, and then you lift it up and there's like 10 more. So this really has given me the chance to like try her whole range. And she has fragrances in here with citruses, with rose or florals. There's one called Vanillicious. There's a really nice lavender one, which I actually put on the list, Lavendeluce. And I think that's kind of like a vanillic. It's a really, really nice lavender. And I'm not like a real lavender fan otherwise, but this is the one I've been wearing the most in this box. And then I also put on the list, which one was it? I put Pinkwood, but then I changed my mind. And then I put Enderstern, I guess you say in German. And this fragrance is like, it really grew on me as I was wearing it. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the notes of this Enderstern fragrance. Okay, it's cacao. You know, Tonka and cacao have like been such favorites of mine lately. I really gravitate towards these notes, and especially combined with florals. But this one, let's see, doesn't have any florals. Cacao vetiver, tobacco leaf, musk, tonka, opoponax, and ambergris. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? Okay, and this is what I've written, because I tried it a while back. Very animalic and slightly smoky opening. But it settles down after 10 to 15 minutes, and after a half an hour or so, it is really smooth. The dirty quality remains, but I can handle it. So it's kind of like a little bit of a love-hate. But the last thing I've written at the bottom of the page, really growing on me. So I'm looking forward to wearing this again. A fair dose of vetiver, really good vetiver, gives it an earthy depth. A few on Fragrantica get a whiskey note. And my nose kept looking for this whiskey note, and I just couldn't find it. But I'm guessing, since it has a smokiness, that maybe, I know that certain whiskeys, I'm not familiar with whiskeys really, but there is, you know the way there's a special smoky teas, and I think some of these like single malt or Scottish whiskeys or whatever have like a smokiness. Maybe that's what's reminding them of whiskey. I'm not sure. It could be smoky vetivers. That sometimes comes off smoky, or the tobacco, of course. But several write about it also being boozy. I really couldn't get that. It's slightly gourmand and might have a little hint of vanilla, although not listed. So that was Enderstern by April Aromatics. But I do find, I'll have to say, that many of these fragrances, I mean, a few of them are like really, really strong. But the fragrance, actually my fragrance of the day is Rose L'Orange. It's a rose and orange blossom neroli fragrance. And it smelled really good when I put it on, but then after that I haven't been able to smell it like at all. Did I just spray Capri on myself? I think I did. Because here I can smell something now. I think I sprayed that on myself. Or just maybe by holding it. I'm not sure. I think I did, because this Roses L'Orange was good, but I can hardly smell it. And I think then it's not really... But they're really interesting, these fragrances. And I'm going to get back to you on these as I go along them. But I just find that this was a great new discovery. And I love the fact that there are natural perfume houses out there. And when I'm at it here anyway, I actually didn't put this on the list, but I'm putting it on the list now, is Ormaie as a whole house. These particular two are a little bit gourmand. One is a little bit aromatic, slightly gourmand leaning. It's called Papier Carbone. And the other one is called Libre Bleue, which is a little bit more gourmand leaning. It's like a cacao tonka, patchouli, maybe fragrance. And these actually have really good lasting power. And so it's not for sure that just because it's natural, it doesn't last. I mean, look at our Bleue from Here I'm Green. That's one of my favorite fragrances. That one has really good lasting power. So I really recommend you looking into Ormaie. These are the travel size. They're 20 ml. They also come in 100, and they're really cute bottles. They have these little Art Deco little wooden tops. And it doesn't. The name of the fragrance is not on the bottle, except like tiny, tiny on the tag, maybe. I don't know if I even could see it if I wore glasses. You just have to tell them apart by the color on the tops. But the house is called Ormaie, and they have so many nice fragrances. Like there's a bitter orange one there that reminds me a little bit of Xerjoff's 400. That is nice. There's 1812 that's nice. There's the one that has called Le Passant with lavender, which is all really, really beautiful. And I really want to go back and compare that one to Lavendeluce from April. So that was that. Let's see which ones I didn't mention here. I think I mentioned all of these. Okay, number 13 on the list is Gold Mimosa from Exaltatum. I think they're based in London. I'm not sure. I think the perfumer is from somewhere else. Her name was not English sounding. I think maybe Eastern Europe or something. But there was a fragrance called Gold Mimosa at the expo that I should have bought but didn't buy, and I regret it because I came home and I had it on in a special patch of my skin, and I just didn't dare. It's so hard to pick out a fragrance when there's so much fragrance in the air and there are 1,000 things to try, and who knows, maybe if I had brought it home it had been a mispurchase after all. But it's a new discovery that I really want to go back to. Now I can feel my throat is a little bit affected by all this talking, so I'm not 100% better yet. Okay, another fragrance that I've really enjoyed this year is Manhattan by Roja, which is kind of a tobacco vanillic. What else is in this Manhattan fragrance? It's really good anyway, and I've been really close to buying a bottle because I've seen like 4 of them secondhand. But that also tells me something. Okay, 4 people want to get rid of their bottle, and I think I read a little bit about it, why people are getting rid of it. Here it is. It has basil, bergamot, and lavender in the top. This is a fragrance that gives a really good first impression, that I'll say, because I liked it like straight away. It has coconut, jasmine, heliotrope, may, rose, and violet in the mid. And in the bottom, clove, tobacco, vanilla, pine tree, cinnamon, pink pepper, gingers, all these really nice spices, benzoin, musk, patchouli, vetiver, cedar, and oak moss. But it's a tobacco fragrance, but the tobacco is kind of like, it has so many other things going on. And the coconut is definitely present in this fragrance. I think it smells a little bit, it's unisex or leans a little bit masculine. But I think people get a little bored with it. This is my analysis. That's why they're wanting to get rid of it. And I'm hoping to find a partial, like a secondhand bottle, but that doesn't have so much left. Because I don't want to pay so much because it's still such an expensive fragrance. But I really have been enjoying wearing it, and I've worn like maybe 3 ml out of my 5 ml decant, which is a lot when I'm always trying new things. Okay, and then I wanted to mention one from Essential Parfums. Is kind of this niche house that has a little, they're kind of affordable fragrances, and they're all made by master perfumers that they really have sort of lifted to the front. They're on each bottle. They even have their name on the samples. And my favorite one in here is Rose Magnetic. And even though I'm not a rose lover, I really do think this is a great fragrance. So that was kind of my favorite from this one. But I have also been wearing the vetiver one. Is a nice creamy vetiver. The patchouli is really nice. The orange and santal gave me a compliment at the gym. The musk is really nice, but it's kind of like a Your Skin but better fragrance. It's not super, none of these are super potent. The patchouli one, I would have maybe wanted a bottle of it, but had it been stronger, but it's too much of a skin scent, I think. Fig Infusion, I haven't worn that much. Bois Imperial, I don't like. It's Quentin Biche. Quentin Biche and I are not best friends. Okay, so that was Rose Magnetic. And then one discovery has been, but I think it's too expensive to buy at $21.50, Rêverie from Victoria Beckham. I have a sample, and I think it's a really, really good smoky, earthy vanilla fragrance. So if that's your vibe, if that's what you think is nice, this is something that it will stay on you all day. But I won't buy it. It's so expensive. I love the bottle. I love, like it comes in this really kind of exclusive dark green kind of bottle. But it's just too much money. It's not that overwhelmingly good that I would buy it. I'll just, I'll really be using my drops from my sample cautiously. And then there's Siren from Fragrance du Bois, which is a really nice oud cherry fragrance. It was not my normal scent profile, but I really love this fragrance, and it was kind of a love at first sniff. And then I took it home, and then I experienced it differently. So it seems like every time I try it on, I get something new. And that's what I like about it. It's super easy to wear, yet it's a kind of a potent fragrance. I like that kind of fragrance. And who knows if one day I'll get a bottle. It's really nice. Siren from Fragrance du Bois. I think that might be is it the newest one? I'm not sure, but it came out either in 2023 or 2024. So I don't think I'm the only one that has it on my discovery list for 2024. And then I also tried, I think I left that discovery set upstairs. I got a discovery set from Pure Distance, and one that is really nice is Chez Duna. That was another new discovery. And now I can't remember exactly Chez Duna because I don't have the notes written down right here, but it is one of like my favorites from, and also Ruby Kona was another nice one, but I put Chez Duna on the list, I guess for a reason. And then I put Zuzu on the list from Celine, which is a beautiful vanilla fragrance with kind of their typical DNA. It's just like the perfect vanilla fragrance. So if you are rich and you want a perfect gift for someone that you don't know that well, maybe you just met someone, like you're a man and you've met a woman, and you want a gift, I would say that would make a perfect gift, like for the person where money's not an issue, because I think it definitely will get worn. Zuzu, but they also have other really nice fragrances that are not too far away from Zuzu, like Black Tie, Reptile. What else is the one that's really good is Night Clubbing. It's kind of a little bit ashtray-like, although it's really, really good. So that was that one. Zuzu, it's called Z-O-U, Zuzu. And then I put on number 20, 1996 from Byredo. And it was a new discovery for me, yet the fragrance is quite old. I've been kind of hard on Byredo. I'm Swedish and they're Swedish and I don't like their fragrances. I think they are odd, and some of them you can hardly feel. Some of them are really strong and loud and have like really sharp corners, like Slow Dance, Bibliothèque. These are like really strong fragrances. And then on the other hand, there's like Gypsy Water, Bal D'Afrique. What's it called? The third one there. Nomad something, like, what is it called? It'll come back to me like as soon as I hang up with you guys. There are three that I usually mention that I think are all kind of very low performers. I'll put it that way. I mean, Gypsy Water, basically, it smells like water. That's why they call it Gypsy Water. It bugs me when I can't find these names. That there are three that are like, but they do have some ones that are a little bit more loud, but they're very modern. And I mean, in a way, maybe some of them are unique. 1996 came on the list, or made the list, because I love patchouli right now. And this is like a really makeup-y, irisy, violet-y patchouli. And I think there's some spices in there as well. No, it's leathery. That's what it's leathery. It's just kind of like, if you picture like the inside of a leather handbag where there's been like some old makeup spilled, or you open an old tube of like dry lipstick, like, and then there's patchouli in the background. It's really nice, and especially in the dry down. And I've also been able to experience it on someone during this year, which made me actually go and buy a decant. So I wouldn't buy a full bottle, wouldn't pay full price, but if I saw a partial with this much left, maybe I would get it, secondhand. Another new really good discovery is Iris Celadon from Armani Privé. Such a nice iris. And it's a misleading name. It's a patchouli fragrance with iris rather than the other way around. I absolutely love it. The only thing is it's kind of a low performer. I mean, not super low performer, but too low for me. And I have had the opportunity of buying an 11 mil decant. So I think that'll, you know, keep me going for a while. I think it might be discontinued, actually, this one. It has a green, it's black, and it has a green top, I think, from Armani Privé. If you get the chance, try it. And then this one might have been a discovery from 2023, but it's grown on me during this year. Therefore, I put it on the list for 2024, and it's Sin and Pleasure from Born to Stand Out. And I actually, when I sold the house, have I even told you this? I have told you. Yes, I have told you. I wanted to kind of like celebrate with something, and I thought I would allow myself to buy a fragrance, and I thought I was going to go in and buy Sin and Pleasure, and then they were out of this one. They didn't have it. So I guess I get to, maybe I'll buy it later. But Sin and Pleasure is a real gourmand. It's really sweet, but it is like I can't stop sniffing myself. But I don't know. Maybe I'll get Tonka Hysteria instead, or you know, some other fragrance that they might have. I'm going to meet one of my perfume friends tomorrow and do some sniffing, so maybe I'll get something else. Sin and Pleasure, I can imagine me getting really bored with it. I should try to get a decant. That's what I should do this year. Because I'm not going to spend, I'm going to be really mindful about my purchases this year. Okay, number 23 on the list is called The Rose. Oh, another rose fragrance for someone who doesn't like rose. The Rose from Musicology. It is a really nice, kind of sugary, creamy rose that reminds me a little bit of the Lancôme exclusives. Like there's one called Parfait de Roses from that Lancôme exclusive series that are kind of hard to get a hold of now. Really nice rose fragrance. Don't go out and buy it without trying it though, because it's super expensive. And then Poudre d'Or from Mise en Cire, which is Alberto Morillas. God, I know how to say his name. Alberto Morillas, right? The beautiful kind of irisy, powdery fragrance. I think it has heliotrope. I love that fragrance. I think I have my second decant. But also quite expensive, but not, I think still worth it. Not crazy expensive. Not as expensive as the Grossmith. I think they have like, the price for a 100 ml bottle is about the same as a 50 for Grossmith. So if I would get a bottle, it would still not be my most expensive one, you know, in terms of like, you know, price per volume unit. But you need kind of a lot to get the right effect. So I'll have to say that. And last on the list is from Penhaligon's, and it's Savoy Steam. Beautiful, kind of like laundry-ish reflection Man from Amouage kind of vibe. And with a little bit of, I think there might be some citruses in there. It's like really, really fresh. Could it be maybe some eucalyptus? I don't have even a sample anymore. I used the whole sample. I went down south to the store that was supposed to have it. They didn't have it. So I'm kind of looking for a bottle. Maybe I will. I've seen they have it online, like at some of these, like, you know, gray market type places. But it's still been, I'm not 100% like, I don't know. I don't like buying fragrance online for some reason. It's so much easier for me to not buy if I'm sitting in front of a computer, because I hate waiting for it. Like, I want to buy it, and I want to see it, I want to talk to someone that sells it to me, I want to sniff 1,000 other things before I make up my mind. And this just feels like, if I'm going to buy a bottle of Savoy Steam, it's either have to be secondhand or it's going to be from a shop, I think. Unless the price goes like way, way down. That would be a different story. Okay, so those are my 24 fragrances that were great new discoveries for 2024. I might have missed one or two, but these are the ones that came to mind. I think I did add these in. No, Libre Bleue was actually on the list from Ormaie. And then I showed you the Papier Carbone. After my cold here, I've actually stuck to these natural fragrances more. I've worn April Aromatics. I've worn Ormaie. I've worn Here I'm Green. It just sort of feels better, you know, like more natural. I just feel that must be better than the chemicals. But some people say, I mean, I know some Swedish perfumers, they're like, it's not that easy because naturals can be, you know, naturals can be poisonous as well, right? And putting things on your skin doesn't have to be good just because it comes from, you know, from nature. But I don't know. It's a discussion, and I believe what I believe. So unless proven wrong, I kind of, it just seems right to me. So anyway, it was good talking to you. I will be back with another video shortly. Bye-bye.